Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Jim Hodson here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum, home to the most touchable warbirds in Texas. And we're going to start this video here very shortly. We advertise it as what is this? And so we're going to turn this around and show you. This is a device we picked up yesterday, and it is an ejection trainer. And as it turns out, this is an ejection trainer for the OV-1 Mohawk. We didn't know that at the time. We'll post some pictures, and I think you may have seen some from Rich Garrett, some of the pictures of this device. It was buried up to the bottom of the supports in dirt, so we ended up pulling it out of there. And the normal configuration of this device, which you can see here at the front, is a small cockpit-like looking device. And I'm going to get up on the trailer here in a little bit and show you inside. But the idea was that every few years you would have to, regardless of what airplane you flew, if it had an ejection seat, you would have to take a ride on one of these ejection seat trainers. And you got what was referred to as a seat card. So what you're seeing here is a Martin Baker, I believe it's called a Mark J5D ejection seat. And normally this rail that it's on wouldn't lay flat. It's got a hydraulic system that will raise that up to about a 60-degree angle. And then what would happen is that there's controls in here, so you're inside this little cockpit. And what would take place is you would either pull the face curtain or you would pull the D-ring between at the base of the seat. You can just barely see that up there probably. But that's the D-ring, or the one over the head, which was the face. And you would pull that down, and there's pneumatic air that will shoot you up the rail. Now you go up the rail about 10 feet or so. There's a stop here at the end so that you can't go flying off the end of this device. But you can see that it's substantial. And it's been laid out in the field for we don't know how long, because there was a tree growing up through the middle of it. In fact, you can see we had tree roots growing in the wheels here. We didn't even know it had wheels until we actually started to get it up off the ground and try to get it here loaded up. See, it's got a ladder. I'm going to see if I can climb up on these stairs over here so you can get a better view of the device. Walk around some of the stuff here. And I'm going to apologize for the sound. I have a new phone, and it will not work with the external microphones that I have. Sorry. I'm going to get around obstacles here. It will not work with the external microphones that I have, so if the sound quality isn't that good, I'm going to have to try to fix that. But here you can see a little bit better as I climb up on the stairs. It's almost like a cartoon cockpit, but it has a throttle. It has a canopy jettison. It has the seat, obviously, is sitting here in the back, and when it's tilted up, the seat will be down in the cockpit, and there's a stick. And you can see the control box down in front right there behind Jimbo. That's usually mounted on the front, and then there's an operator here. You can see down here at the bottom, there's the hydraulic cylinder. And you can't quite see it, but it's hidden behind the rails is the tank for the compressed air. So the idea is that you would be in full setup with your helmet, mask, and flight suit, and you would take a ride up the rails. And you normally did this in combination with doing a chamber ride, an altitude chamber ride. But again, we plan to restore this to its operating condition. And so the entire thing is raised up by hydraulics up to about a 60-degree angle. I'm going to put a copy of a video of this exact device so that you can see how it was used in the Army. It's quite heavy. It weighs about 2,500, maybe 3,000 pounds. And considering the fact that it has been out in a field for for the better part of, we figured 15 years, because the tree that we had to cut down that was in the middle of it was about 6 inches in diameter. It was quite large. But you can see that there's gears, and that's for letting the seat come back down so that it comes down slowly. And you'll notice there's a ladder on the side of it. The ladder was for, and it's permanently placed there, but the ladder is so if there was a problem with the pilot in the seat or getting the seat to come back down, somebody could climb up the ladder and allow the seat to just come back down to the control point at the bottom. I'm going to try to get down and see if I can give you a closer look at it. Seat's going to need to be restored. It's actually in pretty good condition considering it's been outside in the weather for all of this time. I'm not using the external mic. I'm just using the mic off of the phone because I couldn't use an external mic. So how's the sound? Give me a thumbs up if the sound seems to be okay. Gonna have to work this out. I expected this phone to work the same as the other one with external mics, and it doesn't seem to be cooperating with me on that part of it. So I'm gonna climb down. I'm gonna have somebody hold the camera while I get up and let you see inside the cockpit. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the nameplate. Data plate first. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you the whoops. And Rich Garrett and Jim Wittenberg were the ones who recovered this out of the weeds yesterday. As you can see, U.S. Army Materiel Command Trainer Ejection Seat Operator OV-1 Mohawk. And then it's its serial number. And by the way, only gets bad when the wind picks up, right, Brian? There is an FM manual for this that we need to try to locate. I will put that online too, and if some of you can find that for us, that would be very, very helpful, because there is a training manual just for this trainer, and we're going to need that to put it back in operating condition. But here's the control panel. As you can see, it says monitor lights, and the box is all here. We had to displace a bunch of ants out of the box and a bunch of red hornets out of the cockpit. But you can see that it's got all of the controls, and the lights will come on, and then when it's set and ready to go, the pilot can go ahead and just pull the handle and ride the rail. So I'm going to ask Rich to hold this while I climb up there, and so I can show you inside the cockpit. So, Rich, if you'd hold on to the camera.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Hey, we've got stairs on both sides, and obviously this is not clean by any stretch of the imagination. And we've got things that are going to have to be repaired and replaced. But you can see inside the cockpit here, there's a control stick. It's laying on the floor. Rudder pedals. And a throttle. It has a rear view mirror for some reason. We're not exactly sure why. But then you can see the bottom of the seat. And again, this all raises up, and then there's a way to pull the seat back down. You can see there's one of the D-rings. There's the one that's at the bottom of the seat pan. And then the one up at the top, which is for the face curtain. And so when you pull the handle, you'll just ride up the rails up to that stop, depending on how much compressed air is in this and the weight of the person on the seat. And so, as I mentioned, as long as we can do it safely, our intent is to put this back into operating condition, display it along with the Mohawk, because obviously that's what it belongs to. It's part of the part of the story that goes along with the Mohawk. But the legs down here at the bottom spread out at about a 30 to 45 degree angle, creates the base. And then there are jack screws that you screw it down so that it's solid on the ground and level. And then this part with the rail, again, is raised up to about a 60 degree angle. And the video that I'm going to post for you so that you can look at it will let you see all of that. So here's the hydraulic cylinder for being able to raise and lower the entire device. So hoses will obviously have to be replaced, but they're in amazingly good condition. And you see that other cylinder back there. Maybe it's a little dark, but that's the compressed air cylinder. See if we can't see it much. Now, this is part of the hydraulics here, but there is a cylinder. We did see the cylinder in here someplace. Can't find it right now. It's got the gauge on it for the compressed air. So ready to take some questions. I don't have a lot of answers, particularly maybe for this thing, but any of us who flew jets in the military had to do an ejection seat trainer type of a maneuver with something like this. Again, so normally we'd go through the high altitude trainer and do the chamber ride, and then after that we would do the ejection seat trainer, and then we would be good for, I can't remember what it was. I think it was 5 years, maybe it was longer than that. So let me see if I can get Rich to hold the camera again while I climb down. Try to do this without damaging myself. Thanks, Rich. Perfect. Say again. Yeah.
Cut the tree out from away from the...
Yeah, the most prized possession. There was no way we were going to get the tree out with a forklift.
All the critters home with us too.
Yeah, a lot of critters too. We had some big spiders on this. So, at any rate, the control panel that I just showed you will be mounted here on the front edge. Yeah, Jim's showing you, it goes right there in that bracket. Yep, next new ride at the air show. That's it for sure. We'll see about doing that. We're going to need some crash test dummies to test it out probably a few times before we do anything with it. But this is a great piece. I personally have never seen one of these available for museums or anything. My guess is that most of them have been scrapped or destroyed, especially when the airplanes go out of service. This one says it's device number 12, so we know that there were at least 12 of these that were made and used for the OV-1 Mohawk. So this is going to make a great addition. We'll probably display it close to the Mohawk, if not next to it. And if anybody wants to come out and help us restore this device, please get in touch, because we'd love to have the help. And this is something really unusual and really, really special. And we're glad that we saved it from the scrapper. So unless there's any other questions, I know this is going to be a short one today, but this is the what is it, and this is really special. And I don't know of, frankly, I don't know of any other museum that has one of these. If any of you do know about that, that's fine. Let us know. So again, we've just finished up from a successful Hops and Props. We're going to do that again in April. And in the meantime, we've got the Alliance Air Show is later this month on the 23rd and the 24th, and we will be at the air show. We won't have this device with us, but we'll be at the air show. But maybe there's a possibility we might have this at an air show in the future. So thanks for stopping in and checking this out. And if you've got any questions, put them on the Facebook page, and we will go ahead and try to answer them. And I will, hey Mike, good to see you. And I will put that video on so you can see one of these things in action. The Army did a training film of these things a number of years ago. So again, thanks for watching us, and we'll catch up with you next week.